Good morning, everyone. She says, sounding very chipper and happy, far too chipper for what's going on at the moment. Good morning and welcome to day 3 of week 2. Hope you're all doing well this morning and you've all got this beautiful sunshine as well that we've got here. Okay, so the word for this week seems to still be confusion. There's a lot of unknown still around what's going on with the payroll support in very practical terms. The self-employed package, of course, hasn't been announced yet, but we are very confident that is going to be coming soon. And also what it means for us directors who are paying ourselves mainly on dividends and low payroll, and of course some people paying themselves on director's loan. What we're hearing today is that universal credit might be the road that's going to be open to us. Again, as you know, here we're not dealing in speculation and rumour, we only bring you the facts, but that's what we're thinking is likely to happen at the moment. But that is all yet to be confirmed, and we will let you know when we know that. There's a lot of interpretation out there being issued as fact, so I want you guys to be really careful what you're acting on and what you're hearing. There's also a lot of plain wrong advice going on. Yesterday we had a client tell us a payroll company had told them they got to repay the grant for the payroll and that they had to top up the 20%. Now, we don't think that's true. In fact, a grant is a grant by definition, it's not repayable. But just be careful because that was issued to them as fact. And the client was going to go away and act on that and make decisions around her business that were going to be based on her having to pay that debt back. There's also a lot of confusion around this 80% and £2,500. What does it mean? Is it 80% of what? Is it net? Is it gross? Lots of confusion, and we had a really robust debate amongst our group yesterday afternoon about this. Trudy has got some clarification on the best interpretation there is of that at the minute. Again, the government guidance isn't clear. But there is some well perceived clarity on that issue, which Trudy will issue to us this morning. We are doing our very best to keep on top of all this for you guys. There is so much rumour, there is so many variations on what might be the truth of the packages, and we're doing our absolute best to keep on top of it. Bearing in mind we're all still trying to run our businesses and keep the wheels on, and this project really is kind of turning into a full-time gig. I know I spent pretty much all of yesterday and the day before on our Facebook group, which has been amazing. We were over 1,100 members as at this morning, and there's just some phenomenal engagement. People are helping each other out there, a total place of positivity and support, which is quite phenomenal being on there, and it's keeping me sane at the moment, I have to say. Quite a few people have started doing strategic stuff, like looking at processes, procedures, and thinking about how they emerge from this into the new world. But I have to say, I think most people are still in crisis. Absolutely understandably, given the confusion. We don't have any financial certainty yet, and until we have financial certainty, really hard to start planning for things in the future. And we're all seeing daily our revenue streams dropping away. Clients we maybe thought were safe are now cancelling stuff. I think the reality of cash flow is hitting people very quickly, and people are cutting costs to conserve cash, which of course we all have to do. And it's just how we deal with the fallout of that. And if you remember what I keep saying about this, you must plan for the worst case. You have to know what's going to happen if that happens to your business. We had a big update planning meeting last night, as we do every evening, and we're focusing on a few key areas this week. One, of course, your emergency cash flow plan. You must make sure you've done that this week if you haven't yet done it. Start with your personal budget. You must know what you need from your business or from funding to stand still. Get your mortgage holiday. There was talk yesterday of people getting rates holidays as well, so pursue that too. We'll bring you more as we hear on that. And I'm going to be talking more later today about debtors. It's a really tricky area, knowing how to chase your debtors, but also how to plan and assume for who may not be paying you, because we can't assume that we'll get all our debtor books in at the moment. Now, there's another issue here that's in our minds, which is a pretty gnarly issue, and it's quite a tricky one to talk about, but I think we really have to. Business continuity. Sounds really dull, I know, but what happens if you or some of your key team get ill, and I mean properly ill? There may be the issue of what happens if you're out for 2 weeks, but what if it gets worse than that? What if the worst happened? And given what's going on now, that's just not something we talk about with insurance brokers, but this is a reality that could happen. What would happen if you weren't here? Do people know how to access the bank account? Have you got provisions in place for your business to carry on running? Now, there's some big issues in there. So Robin Johnson, our legal expert, has put together a video and a guide on exactly what that means and what you should do. And we'll be releasing that shortly this morning. Because it is a tricky one. We don't like to think about it, but you know what? We have to. I mean, even talking to Trudy yesterday, her husband doesn't know how to access one of their bank accounts. Practical issue. If something happened, he's going to need to know that. We're thinking also about sensitive marketing and what we should be doing. We feel that maybe week 2 isn't quite the right time, but Greg Simpson, our resident PR and marketing expert, is concerned that people are still a bit too invisible out there, and people aren't making it clear that they're open for business. If they are, how people can work with them. And there's almost a bit of shame about people wanting to be seen working from home, which is a little odd, but he's going to be issuing us a video and a guide on that for this week as well, because it's a pretty important area. Stuart's keeping us focused on our daily priorities and that daily crisis planning meeting. He's got a great video about that on the website and on LinkedIn and on the Corona Business Advice website. So we continue to work hard to separate fact from rumour and speculation. We're keeping well away from the hysteria that I've seen mention of on mainstream social media. It beggars belief what's going on out there, but please guys, you're better than that. Stay focused, keep where the facts are, keep where the positivity is. And just remember, conserving cash is a priority this week, emergency cash flow planning. And there are, of course, templates on cash flow planning. There are guides on the emergency cash flow planning procedure on a Facebook group and on the website. If you need anything, just give me a shout. Have a great day, and we'll be back to you later. Thanks, bye.